Welcome to episode number 1, interview with Tori Smith on Kungfu Soup Podcast. Kungfu Soup Podcast. Kung Fu, martial arts, and a bowl full of stuff that's good for you. We will be interviewing warriors and people of all walks of life, and I figured it would be fitting to start off by interviewing one of my daughters. My oldest daughter is a little more reserved, and my youngest is a bit of a ham like me, so we are interviewing a lifelong martial artist, Tori, and she has a awesome interview and answers some excellent questions very well. So I'm very proud of her and gave me a chance to practice my questions. And I have been a martial artist for a really long time and would love for you to check out the info and just believe that we can help each other. We can grow. And I'd love to share my experience in the martial arts of 30 plus years and my variety of ministry experience, counseling and working as a youth minister and a prison chaplain and all different types of walks of life, counseling, and we just love to share those things with you, and the opportunity to meet some amazing people and speak with them and ask how these warriors live their lives. So share with me on this journey, and welcome to Kungfu Soup. Here is the interview with Tori. Come get some. This is Kungfu Soup, episode 1, interviewing Victoria Eleanor Smith, the amazing Victoria Eleanor, also known by some as Stink, but mostly from her big sister. All right. So let's get to our interview questions. All right. First of all, do I have permission to for you to be on the podcast?
Yes.
Yay. And what is your name, even though I just said it?
Victoria. Some people call me Tori too.
And Victoria, Tori, how old are you?
I am 7.
7, excellent. Is there anything else that you want our audience to know about you?
I have one sister, and I have a dad and a mom.
That is excellent. Do you have any martial arts background? Have you studied any martial arts?
Yes, I have before.
And what did you study? What did you do?
I kicked, and I kicked while I yelled, of course.
Yeah, of course. Since I am your father, I think I know that you also did some stick fighting. Is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent. And you have pretty much been stick fighting and wrestling and kicking and punching since you were able to stand, and probably before you were able to stand. Okay. So now we know what your Kung Fu is. What is your soup? What do you do when you're not doing martial arts?
I watch martial arts so I can see what they're doing, and then I can learn more martial arts just so I can be like my dad.
That is awesome. Thank you very much. I'm very proud to be your dad. One of the reasons that I'm interviewing you is because I feel like you are a warrior. I think of you as a master of smiles, and that you bring joy to people, and that you're very friendly and very loving, and you're also very determined and focused like your mommy Your mommy is very focused. I would like to ask, what is your goal? What do you want to accomplish?
I want to accomplish Kungfu, and I want to start being a better math person.
Excellent. So you want to improve your math. I have a question for you. What is single most important to you? What is most important to Tori?
My family and my dogs.
That is excellent. That is a perfect order, family and then dogs. I like to ask people what their daily routine is. What do you do to try to improve yourself? What kind of things do you do to become better at stuff during the day and the evening, and what kind of stuff do you do to improve?
I read, and I read about Kung Fu, math, and I learn 8+8, and I read books, and I just get my nose stuck in books all the time.
That's a very good thing. You already answered it, but I'm going to get you to answer it for a third time. What is an enemy you have faced? And you answered stage fright. Would you tell me a little bit more about how you overcame stage fright?
I sang in front of a whole audience, and I sang and I danced and I had to talk, and my family was in the crowd, and I got a little bit shy, but I started doing it, and then I started smiling because I knew that I shouldn't be afraid of anything, because there's nothing to be afraid of.
That's very cool. And what would you say that you learned from this challenge?
I learned that you can overcome any fear of any kind that you have.
Very cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. Do you have any, I like to ask people about spiritual things. Do you have any spiritual habits? Do you have any things that have to do with God, things that you do on a regular basis? What kind of things like that do you do?
Well, I start writing, and first I have to come up with a title. And I have to get something on my mind before I do that. So somebody has to tell me something before I think of a title, because it's easier. Like, if somebody said, a morning time, it's morning time, then I would get a title that would be Morning Time.
Okay, very cool. What kind of things do you do on a weekly basis? One thing that you might tell us about is church. I know that we go to church together. Can you tell me anything about church? What do you like about church?
I like holidays because holidays mean that we get to dress up and they have costumes, and we get to celebrate that day in God's worship, and there's always angels in it. Angels. Like Christmas has angels, and I might be an angel in the Christmas one since it's really close to Christmas, and it's actually close to Thanksgiving, but
Sorry, it's close to Halloween and Thanksgiving and all of those things. And yes, Christmas is advertised a lot. I would like to know, do you see yourself as one of these? Do you see yourself as a warrior? Do you see yourself as a priest, kind of like a preacher? Do you see yourself as a prophet, one who talks about the word of God? Or do you see yourself as a shepherd that guides other sheep?
I feel every day like I'm a shepherd, and I feel like I'm a shepherd. I just feel it, and I feel the sheep's warm fur, and then I feel it, and then I feel I'm a shepherd.
It's kind of cool. I would say that you're a shepherd. You like helping people and guiding them. And I think that's really, really cool. One of the things I like to do is I like to make things practical. And what is one tip for our listeners that they could copy? What is one thing that they could put into action today and try to reproduce something that's good that you do? What do you do? What is something that they could do that you like to do that would be helpful to them?
Well, people like karate, and sometimes they do karate, and you can do most anything. Sometimes you come over to people's houses and you say, I don't know how to do this. Can you help me? Anything that you want to do, because I feel that I want something to do from you. And
okay, all right. I think that's good. I want to thank you for being my first interview person, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud that we have been able to do this together. I love training in the martial arts with you and practicing, and I enjoy when you try to beat your dad up. And I mostly like when we annoy mommy in the grocery store when we are punching and kicking each other and driving her crazy, because it's lots of fun. And I love you very much. Any last words that you want to say to our listeners?
yeah, karate's really good. It exercises you. It gets you in for battle. It does all super things, and so does Kung Fu Soup. Kung Fu Soup is the same thing. It's just this guy Young teaches it. Mm-hmm. And then that's my dad, so you might be able to meet me there. Only if you come.
All right. Well, you have come to Kung Fu Soup, the Kung Fu Soup podcast. And thanks for being here, and thanks for listening. Kung Fu Soup. Come get some. Come get some. Well, I hope you enjoyed the interview with Tori, my youngest daughter. I'm so proud of both of my daughters and the amazing things that they accomplish. And though neither one of them have really enjoyed formal classes, ever since they were able to stand, I've taught them to defend themselves in a variety of ways. From this interview, I want to know what is your call to action? What did you take away from this that you could put into your life right now? My favorite quote from her is the keeping her nose in a book. And I try to live that out, whether I'm physically reading a book or I'm listening to an audio book or listening to a podcast. At some point, I'm always trying to learn. I really picked this up from the concept years ago from Zig Ziglar, the idea of automobile university, and that the wasted time in your vehicle listening to music, which isn't a bad, it's not really wasted. Listening to music, it's a good thing. Just when you have the opportunity to learn, it's that you should take advantage of that. I used to have a really long commute when I would drive to be a prison chaplain. I had an hour and 15-minute commute, and I had my drive scheduled out with a certain amount of time listening to grammar, because I was studying Hebrew at the time, and a certain amount of time I would listen to a Spanish radio station, because I at some point wanted to learn Spanish and just enjoyed the Spanish music, and it was exciting and fun. And part of the time I would just turn everything off and just have a little bit of quiet time and say a couple prayers and meditate and relax while I was just before I got to work. So take every opportunity that you have. Carry a book with you, whether it's in your phone, a digital version, or a physical book, so that you take the opportunity and just spend a couple of minutes reading every chance that you get. Thank you for listening to Kung Fu Soup, and please enjoy some music here at the end. Thanks, and God bless. Kung Fu Soup Podcast.
Come get some.